Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Lisa Seymour Howard, and I have a special guest for you today. She'll be coming on in about 5 minutes or so. So, the purpose of this live is um, me- okay. Yeah, the purpose of this live is to just let everybody know I created this group, Wealth and Freedom Movement, and I'm also streaming live on my YouTube channel. But my goal is to provide access to wealth to everybody, even the common, regular, everyday person, because I feel like we were not meant to get a job, work it for 40 years, and then when it comes to retirement, we don't have enough money to retire on. So my goal is to get people to freedom in, to freedom in their finances. So I like to invite different people who has different strategies to help us to get to where we need to go so that we can be comfortable in life and we don't have to worry about struggling and taking time away from the family because we have to be at work. Work is fine, work is good, and work is something that I've done pretty much all my life. But you can't build something that you can a legacy that you can leave behind unless you're doing something extra, unless you're doing something that most people have not been shown to do. So I like to invite people on to give you some kind of information that we don't normally get on an everyday basis. So that is the purpose of this live and any live that I have in the future where I bring on experts to help us to learn how we can do things to get to a life of wealth and freedom because I believe that we were put here to prosper and to just be comfortable and give to each other. So that is the purpose of this live and any live that I do in the future. So I'm waiting on my guests, but before I bring her on, let me just give her a little introduction. It's gonna be Miss Catherine Grant. I'm sorry, Catherine Latoya Grant-Alston, and she is known as the Queen Treasurer. So she can help us to find out little tidbits about what we can do to get to that freedom that we all seek to get to. So Catherine should be on in about I don't know less than 5 minutes now. So again, my name is Lisa Seymour Howard, and my goal in life is to lead people to a life of freedom and abundance. And I see I got two people watching so far. Someone saying hello to me. Now, what you can do is give StreamYard the okay to be able to post your name so that when I put your comment up here, we could see your name as well. But I got Facebook running up at the top. So let me see if I can see who just, oh, that was, I don't know. Let's see. I got Facebook running at the top, but I still can't see who commented. But thank you for being here. Um, my guest is arriving now, so let me introduce her, give her the proper introduction. So today we have Dr. Catherine Latoya Grant Alston, known as the Queen Treasurer. She's globally recognized entrepreneur, executive for a Fortune 300 company, two-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, certified life coach, and co-host of the internationally streamed podcast Kingdom Treasures. Catherine is the CEO of Art Financial Solutions LLC, which offers financial consulting for businesses, emphasizing strategic planning and treasury technology. She is the co-founder of Alston Kingdom Treasures, a lifestyle brand that champions love, family, and business in the Black community, aiming to boost financial and generational wealth. Educated with a BS in Business Administration from the University of Connecticut, an MBA from the University of Massachusetts, and an honorary doctorate in Christian education. Catherine has over 20 plus years of experience in finance. As a senior director of global cash operations, she oversees the strategic planning of $16 billion revenue while streamlining processes and implementing world class systems. Her expertise has won awards such as the TMI Innovation and Excellence Corporate Recognition and the Alexander Hamilton Award for Technology Excellence. So that is who I have for you today. And without further ado, let me bring Miss Dr. Catherine onto the stage. Hello, Dr. Catherine, and how are you doing today, ma'am?
Hello, hello. Hi, Queen. How are you? Hi,
I'm
everyone.
I'm good. I'm good. Good to have you here. We are streaming live in my Facebook group and also on YouTube. So
Yes.
guest, if you are here live with me, just put live in the chat. And if anyone is seeing this on replay, just put hashtag replay so I can know how you visited us. So, Miss Catherine, I just have some questions to ask you today so that we can give the people some information on finances and how to get to wealth the way that you have. And so we're going to just go from there, and I'll just go and start asking you the questions now. So it's about 10, 15 questions. I may not ask them all because they may overlap with the answers, but here we go, girl.
Let's go. Let's go, Queen. Let's do it.
All right, all right. So, being that my audience is people who are looking to get to wealth and freedom, they maybe probably have not figured it out completely yet. I'll ask questions from like a maybe employee or beginning business perspective, so we could help these people to get to the financial goals that they're trying to get to in life.
Okay.
So, all right, first question is, what are the first steps to transition from an average income to earning six or seven figures? So, like just
Ooh.
first steps just to get you going.
So, so I'm gonna go from a career perspective, right? If you're actually trying to excel your career, and then I'll talk about being an
Hmm.
entrepreneur because they're two different things.
Yes, yes,
um,
yes.
so from a career perspective, so my career, I've been in the industry for over 20 plus years. I'm a corporate executive, and thank you for my bio. But in short, I strategically plan a lot of money for corporations, right? And so one of the things that when I was excelling my career, and I hope no one makes this mistake, but we often make this mistake. When I was excelling my career, I felt like my work would speak for itself. And that was the way that I would climb the corporate ladder, right?
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
lot of times, women, we keep our heads down. And so we work hard. We can prove ourselves, but we keep our heads down and we wait for someone to recognize us. So that is the number
Hmm.
one mistake. Do not do that, right? Be intentional. Even if you're unclear about where you want to go, even if you're unclear about what your future looks like, right? What does it actually look like to get the position, like your dream position or your dream job? Even if you're unsure, we have things within us that we know we love. I love numbers. I love data. I love to, strategically look at money. When I'm looking at dollar signs and zeros, I know I don't see it the way that others see it. And so I know that that was
Hmm.
my gift. So I found that early, so I was in my industry. Sometimes we have to pivot. Sometimes we have to, um just go out and see what we like. We have to try new things. So the
Hmm.
first the first thing I will say not to do, and then I'll go into what to do, is don't just work and keep your head down, right? Put yourself
Hmm.
in rooms. Put yourself in rooms where your voice can be heard. Network with people. Your network is your net worth, right? And so if
Yes.
you are
Hmm.
just sitting at your desk or in your office or whatnot, and you are not networking with people, you're not putting yourself out there to work on projects that will go across different departments and get you exposure, then you're doing yourself an injustice. And so you definitely have to network. The next thing is stop trying to be loyal to companies that are not loyal to you. Let's be
Oh
real
yeah.
clear.
That's a
Let's
big
be
one.
real
Yes.
clear. You are a number. And I know that sounds so bad, but it is so true. And sometimes the truth hurts. You are a number. So oftentimes we find ourselves sitting at companies that we feel like, oh, well, I need to be loyal to them, or, I've been here for a certain amount of years. So then why aren't you adding a zero to your salary, right? Why aren't you adding the
Right.
perks and so forth to your position, and why aren't you leading? Why aren't you getting the managerial roles? Why aren't you exceeding? Because at the end of the day, you're loyal to a company that's not loyal to you. And so you have to be very intentional about what it is that you would like to do or your next move. And you have to, this is the third one, be very vocal about it. Right. Obviously, there's a
Okay.
way you can't go up in those people office talking about I deserve, right? But you but you have to, you absolutely have to be an advocate for yourself. And so you have to tell your manager or whomever, your HR department, these are the things that I have contributed to this company. These are the successes that the company has had due to these projects that I've worked on, right? So you got to go in
Mhm.
there and you got to talk your stuff, but you have to do it in a way that you use data, right? Because data does not lie. So you can
Right.
say
Right.
as much as you want, I feel I deserve this thing, but at the end of the day, data is going to say, and oh, Queen, hi Queen, hi Queen Marjorie. The data is going to do the talking, and so just those are some of the tips, but you it all starts with you being an advocate. So that's on the
Mhm.
career side. Now on the
Okay.
entrepreneur side, it's different. When you are moving to go from 6 to 7 figures, you have to invest in yourself. Let me be very clear. No one is going to pay you what you're not willing to pay out.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a big
I'm gonna
one.
say it again.
Mhm.
If you are expecting 6 figure contracts, 7 figure contracts, if you're expecting for you to have those caliber of clients, but you are not willing to pay that type of money to get the knowledge, to get the training, to sit in rooms with those type of people, then it's not going
Mhm.
to work. And so a lot of times the thing that is holding people from the 6 figures or the 7 figures is that they're not willing to invest in their craft. They're not willing to invest in their business. And
Mhm.
it's about taking risk, right? And yes, there's going to be some lessons. I've heard it all. I've invested in this and it didn't work. Yep, that's fine. Now you have a
Mhm.
lesson to go on and to move to the next thing. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you have to be willing to invest in yourself what you want others to invest into you.
Mhm.
And then, there's all the technical stuff, right? Systems and so forth. But when it comes down to it, it's about the mindset. That is the shift that needs to be made. And the tip that I would say to get you to the 6 and the 7 figures.
That's
I said a
awesome. I
lot.
love
So,
that. I love that. Yes, that's a lot. And if anyone who's watching has any questions, you can put the questions in the chat and we'll put you up on the
oh,
screen.
hey,
So that
Queen
was
Nadine.
good.
Hey.
So next question is um you just said something about mindset. Next question is how can someone adjust their mindset to focus on wealth creation and financial growth? What steps do you take to get to the right mindset if you've never thought in the way that you're presenting to us now? Like
Mm.
what are the first steps to get to the right mindset?
So money is a mindset.
Mhm.
Money is a mindset. If someone tells you anything different, go the other way.
Mhm.
Money is a mindset. And what that means is if you don't believe that you can actually make 7 figures, then you're not going to make 7 figures. It's not about getting a client. It's not about being in certain rooms, right? It's about the mindset. Because if your
Mhm.
mind is telling you, I am not a millionaire. I'm just trying to get positive, right? You've now limited yourself to that threshold. And
Yes.
so the first thing when you are thinking about wealth and you're thinking about mindset is what are you saying to yourself, right? When it's just you in the room with the four walls, what exactly are you saying to yourself? Even if you're thinking it, you have to realize that those thoughts are actually what is creating your actions. So if you don't think
Mhm.
that you can be a seven-figure earner, then you are taking actions or lack thereof to be a seven-figure earner,
Right.
right?
Right.
And you're not doing the necessary things to accumulate wealth. That's the first thing. the
Mhm.
second the second is you have to own your money trauma. See, people don't want to talk about money trauma. They don't want to talk about the things that they went through that relates to money and why they do and make decisions, or why they move a certain way when it comes to money, why they have a limited mindset when it comes to money, or quite
Mhm.
the opposite, why they don't respect money, right? We all carry some type of money trauma. And if you don't recognize your money trauma, you're going to carry it with you in all
Oh
of the
yeah.
decisions
Most
that you make.
definitely.
And so when you are doing certain things or you're not doing certain things, you have to determine, where does it stem from? Does it stem from the fact that when I grew up I didn't have money, and so now anything that I do, I'm trying to hold on to it. I'm scared to invest, right? Because I'm scared to lose money, right? I'm scared
Mhm.
to take risks, again, because I'm scared to lose money, right? Is that the type of energy that you're carrying around your money? And people think it's about, okay, if I invest in the market or if I invest in this certain thing, then I'm going to be able to soar. No, 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 no. None of those investments matter until you get the lessons that you need to learn within yourself. And so really, when you're talking about building wealth, you have to look at yourself first and determine, am I affirming what I'm asking for? Are my
Cool.
actions walking with what I'm asking for? And that's really the number one tip on accumulating
Mhm.
wealth. Check within first. Check within
Yes.
first.
And you know, Catherine, I don't know if I ever said this to you. I know that we were on a meeting once, and I remember telling our coach that nobody wants to, when she was telling me I should go live, I'm like, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And you said to me, Lisa, you need to dig deep down inside and see what it is and where did it start to make you think that no one wants to hear you. And that really resonated with me, and it really put some fire under me. So if I didn't tell you that before, I appreciate that because that helped me beyond measure. So thank you for that. So I knew you were the
Thank
person
you,
to
Queen.
ask about the mindset question.
Thank
So
you, Queen.
you're welcome. Next question is, can passive income streams realistically propel someone into the 6 or 7 figure income bracket, and how can one get started? So is passive income stream a reality, and how do I even get started after the mindset?
It absolutely is a reality. It's a reality. I think people confuse passive income stream with it's going to happen tomorrow. The thing with
Mhm.
passive income stream is that it's over time. And so as you are investing in whatever the thing is, right? If it's the business,
Mhm.
if it's real estate, if it's, um doing, MLMs, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
When you're talking about passive income, you're talking about building. And so when you're talking about wealth, it doesn't come tomorrow. It may not even come the next year. And
Right.
it's about the commitment to the time that you're putting in it. And so a lot of
Mhm.
times what happens is people say it can't happen because you're at capacity, right? Because it is passive. You're not
Mhm.
going full fledged into it with the mindset that this is going to be the thing that I do every day, all day, and I'm going to make it work, right? It's the thing that you
Mhm.
do on the side, it's the thing that you do when you have time, right? And so it's about the commitment level. And that
Mhm.
commitment level, if you're committed that, every day I got 2 hours to contribute to this thing, every
Mhm.
day I got 3 hours to contribute to this thing, then you can actually reach those levels, right? Real estate is a
Right.
really good example of what I would consider like, passive income where you can get 6 to 7 figures,
Mhm.
because you're not in real estate every day for the most part, right? You may
Right. Right.
invest in a property, right? You may get a management company and so forth. But if you keep that portfolio, if you keep that building, or if you keep that multifamily, over time we've seen that real estate appreciates. And so
Mhm.
that same real estate in 30 years, right, when a mortgage is paid off, and then in an additional 20 years, right, that same piece of real estate can definitely be 7 figures, making
Mhm.
you, right, a 7 figure earner
You're
from
inner.
from what's passive income. And so people confuse passive income with the fact that, oh, like it's gonna be the thing that gets me to the 7 figures tomorrow. No, it's truly passive, right?
It takes
It's
time.
gonna take
Yeah.
some time, and you can build, but just know that you have to be committed to whatever that commitment looks like for you. You have to remain committed in that way.
Right. Yeah. I heard someone say, you have to do simple things, small things on a consistent basis to get to a passive income. So it's
Correct.
not all of a sudden, it's just the little things that you do everything every day. It's easy, but it's not simple because you just got it's just
Exactly.
like if you want to lose weight. I mean, you just got to do the things that you know is required to lose weight, but you have to do them consistently. You won't lose 50 pounds in a week. So, yeah.
And you have to start. So let me just be clear, because this is also a misconception. The more time that you sit on the sideline and you don't do anything about it, the more time that it's going to take for you to build, right? So just
That's
like
it.
the
That's
gym,
right.
a lot of
Mhm.
times, and I'm not talking, I'm not talking to your people, I'm not talking to my people, but if the shoe fits, a lot of times what happens is we want to make sure that we have it all together before we start, right?
Mhm.
But you don't go to the gym to have it all together, right? You go to the gym because you need to get it together. And
Period.
so when people are thinking about, do I do this or whatnot, there's also this notion, especially when it comes to wealth building, that I have to
Uh-huh.
get it right before I go and do the thing, right? Before I
Mhm.
go and, meet with the financial advisor, meet with the a consultant, before I go and I try to get the financial support, right? I got to get it
Mhm.
together first. No, no, no. You're
First,
going to
right.
the people to get it together. And so it's such a
Correct.
misconception, and I'm happy that you use the gym analogy, because yeah, no, and that's
Mhm.
another reason why people don't see passive income building, because they're trying to get it perfect before they start.
Right, right. So you're just sitting and waiting, and I'd rather you start ugly than and sit around and wait and try to be pretty when you start. So,
That
yeah.
part.
That's
That part.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. So,
We love it.
let's see. All right. So, can you discuss the importance of having a mentor or a coach when trying to significantly increase your income?
Oh my goodness. It is, listen, there is nothing like it. There is nothing like it. I don't care what people
I,
say. Anything in this world is not meant to be done alone.
right.
Besides learning yourself, right? Only you can learn you. But even experiences allow you to determine, who am I, right?
Right, right,
So
right.
when we talk about a coach or a mentor, I'll give my story. So I've been in business since 2011. And it wasn't until 2020, so y'all hear this. It wasn't until 2020 where I was actually pushed into the next phase of the business. And the reason was because I was trying to do it myself. What? I thought I knew it. Hey,
Hey,
Queen
Saran.
Saran. Yes. I was trying to do it myself. So in 2020, Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, Queen Visionary author, she said, "Hey, I got this project that I'm trying to do. You should contribute to it and become an author." And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe." I had a
Mm,
million and two questions, and but it was the first time that I allowed someone to coach me through a process. to coach me
Mhm.
through a process. And from there I soared, and I will always invest in coaching. You don't know what you don't know. Let's be real clear. You don't
That is
know
so
what you
true.
don't know. And what I realized is I spent 9 years trying to do it my way, some years no years, like literally I just was
Mhm.
like, this business is not it this year. That's not what
Uh-huh.
we're doing, right? But it wasn't until then I realized, like, wow, I don't know half of the stuff. Now, I could talk to you till you were blue in the face about corporate and career and what it meant to be a Black woman excelling in corporate and how to navigate. I could talk to you till you were blue in the face, but about business, I had no clue because what I thought I
Mhm.
knew, I had no clue. So I got with Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, and in that we met Coach Sherry. I met Coach Sherry,
Mhm.
and then started working with Coach Sherry. When you invest in coaching, you are saving yourself time from making the mistakes that have already been made.
Yes.
And I'll say it again, you are saving yourself time from making the mistakes that have already been made. And that is critical because, contrary to what people believe, we actually learn from our mistakes, right? Because the mistakes hurt more than the blessings.
That's
Say it again,
right.
right?
That's
So when we
right.
get
Yes.
blessed, we're talking about, oh, you see this and you see that, but you don't see what it took. You don't see all of the mistakes and the lessons that I had to learn to get it right. And so
Right.
when you're working with a coach, when you're working with a mentor, when you have a sponsor, right, all of those things, they're bringing you through to avoid the mistakes so that you can fast track your success.
Right.
And so if
That
you're sitting here thinking, I got this, I can guarantee you, you don't. I can guarantee you, you don't, because at the end of the day, someone has already been through it. Success leaves clues. So if you think you inventing something new, absolutely not.
not at all.
Absolutely not. You're not. And so when you are with a coach, a mentor, a sponsor, there's different
Mhm.
terminology depending on what you're seeking. It is an opportunity to learn. And if
Mhm.
you are going about business, you're going about career acceleration, you're going about anything that you're doing, if you're going in it thinking, I got this, you probably do, but you don't know it all. And you are doing yourself a disservice because a true leader is
Mhm.
always going to sit in the student seat. Always.
Right, right. You have to invest in yourself and to avoid the pitfalls and mistakes that you would
Yes.
normally go through if you have a coach, then that coach can like it's like being on a road trip and there's construction coming up and someone has already been through the construction. They can
Correct.
say, "Oh, wait, hold on. Don't turn right because there's construction that way. You need to go
Hmm.
left so you can avoid and go around the construction." So it's kind of like the same thing with a coach. They can tell you, "Oh,
Absolutely.
don't do it this way because if you do it this way, this mistake is going to happen. So go that
Hmm.
way." So yeah, I agree. Coaching is really what's gotten me to even be on here on live with you.
Listen,
So
and
I
I'm so proud of you, Queen. I'm like,
thank you, thank
go
you.
ahead, Lisa. Yes. And here's the other thing about coaching and mentorship and sponsorship. And again, I did say, like, a true leader is always a student, right?
Mhm,
You have
mhm.
to listen to the direction because sometimes
Y
you'll be like, I'm gonna go that way anyway.
right, that's right.
I'm not talking to nobody though. That's just
Okay.
it's just me. I
You're
don't,
just saying. I
I'm just
got you.
saying. I'm just saying, but you gotta listen to the direction because you do not. You have to be coachable. You
Most
have to be
definitely.
coachable because the whole point is to save you the trouble, right?
Right.
To go through those mistakes. So.
Perfect, perfect. And the next, let's see, what role, and you may have already answered it, what roles does networking and building professional relationships play in achieving higher income levels?
Oh
So you
my
kind of touched
goodness.
upon it. Yeah.
I did. Yeah, your network is your net worth. I mean, you need to be in the room, right? And so I get a little just a tad frustrated. A tad
Mhm.
frustrated knowing that people are not taking advantage of being in spaces where they can network. And so I always say
Right.
this, every if you know me, but this is the opportunity for some, for some of your community to get to know me. I do VIP everywhere I go, right? I don't care who calls me bougie. It does not matter to me at all. It doesn't matter to me. I do VIP wherever I go. And I do it for the main reason that if I am taking the opportunity to invest in myself, and I am taking the opportunity to be in those spaces, the person who's sitting next to me values that in the same way, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to, connection building, I'm in the
Mhm.
room with people who are on the same caliber, the same level. They value
Period.
themselves enough to invest in themselves. And so it is truly important for you to network, for you to put yourself in spaces and places to meet people. Because it's not about the skills. You have the skills, right? You have the
Yes.
skills. But who
Mhm.
knows you? Who knows you? Right?
Right.
Who can you collaborate with, right? Because at the end of the day, you only have an arm's length. Oh,
Mhm.
thank you, Queen. Yeah,
Hey,
listen, we
Lisa.
have the dialogue today. Hey, Lisa.
Uh-huh.
So it's only you only have this from arm stretch, right. So when you grab someone else's arm and they stretch, how far are you going now? That's what it's about. That's what
Period.
networking is about. I may not need something, but if I think that, oh, this might be great for Lisa, let me connect y'all.
Mhm.
Let me connect y'all
Right.
to see what happens. Again, I'm not trying to step on toes. I didn't come here for that. But what happens is a lot of people sometimes don't want to be in the room because they think that someone's going to steal their stuff, or they think that someone's going to
Right.
be malicious, or they think it's only enough for, it's only so many seats for our people, right? And so I'm not
Mhm.
trying to give up my seat, right? No, 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 no. That's the crab in the barrel mentality.
That's
That is the
right.
crab in the barrel mentality. Networking is key. Collaboration is key. I'm not saying don't vet your people. I'm not saying that, but you have to get in a room. You have to get in a room to network. You have to get in a room for those collaborations because
Mhm.
your wealth actually depends on it. It really does.
Mhm. Awesome. Awesome. So last question is how can individuals stay motivated and focused on their long-term financial targets amid setbacks and slow progress? And you kind of talked about slow progress already, but
Oh,
so
that's okay.
what's the number one way to stay motivated?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all my story. Because we family here now. Lisa done introduced me to y'all. Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We
Um,
are.
I'm gonna tell y'all my story. So I've been in the financial industry for a very long time. Actually, I've been in the financial industry since I was 16. Yes, y'all heard that right.
Wow.
16. I started
Okay.
working at
Okay.
a bank at the age of 16 in my high school, and we
That's
ran the whole
impressive.
branch. And so I've known finances, I've known money, I've known strategies for a very long time. I claimed bankruptcy, right? So
Mhm.
in my mind, the ego talking, all that stuff. I'm like, who but me? How can I? Well, I know better, right? All that stuff. Life happens. That's
Oh
that's the
yeah.
thing.
Oh
Life
yeah.
happens, right? So when you have a setback, bankruptcy is a setback. Don't let anybody tell you any different. It's a setback. You on
Mhm.
lockdown for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Um, when you have that type of setback, you realize that money is not the thing that drives you. So when
Mhm.
people are trying to build wealth and they say, "Hey, I want to make $1 million, or I want to have $1 million portfolio, or I want to do, this thing X, Y, and Z that is related to money," you start to center your goals around it, right? You start to say, I want, I want to make $100,000 for the next 10 years to make the
Mhm.
million. I want to save a certain amount. They're great. I want everybody to have metric focused goals, right?
Mhm.
But the way that you actually go about it is there's a bigger purpose. And so I always tell the people that I work with, I always tell my community members, you have to understand your why.
Mhm.
Your why is never money, because the money can come and the money can go. right?
This is true.
Bankruptcy,
Mhm.
it was what it was. We was like, all right, oodles and noodles at the table. This is what we got. And right, so we had the money and then we didn't have the money. And
Uh-huh.
so money in itself, wealth in itself with a number is not the thing that you're actually chasing. You are chasing the why. So how could I build a portfolio, $1 million portfolio, multi-million dollar now after
Mhm.
bankruptcy? It's because my why was my kids.
Oh yeah.
My
Oh
why was
yeah.
my kids. My why was I never want my children not to be able to do something that they truly want to do because they're limited on money.
Mhm.
I never want my children to have to worry about not having enough. I want my children to understand, right? I want my children's children to eat off of the decisions that I'm making now.
Mhm.
Because if I said $1 million, okay, I hit the million. Like what, right? That's a
Right.
portfolio. Now what? Okay, I could
Right.
change that. Now it's 10 million. Now it's 20 million, 100 million, whatever, right? I can change that, but that's never going to drive me. When I'm sitting here and I'm tired and I'm just like, oh, I know I need to do this thing because that thing is going to bring in the revenue that's going to go into the trust, right? That's how I'm
Mhm.
thinking. It's not the money because I'll be like, the money will be there tomorrow. I'm going to bed. It's me knowing that my children, right? This decision impacts my children. This decision
Mhm.
impacts their children. It's me knowing that when my daughter comes into my office and she's like, "Hey, Ma, you working on this thing?" Right? And she's seeing me that I am instilling in her the work ethic, right? So it's
Yes.
beyond
Yes.
money. So when you experience a setback, when you are experiencing slow times, when all of those things, you got to remember your why. And if your why is money, your why is not strong enough because it's going to
Yes.
come and it's going to go.
Yes. I agree. I agree. I agree. Well, Miss Queen, you've been dropping nuggets for the last half hour or so we could go on forever. But how can anyone who wants to get in touch with you, who wants to fix their Ilanya Van Zant, however you say her name, fix their life,
Fix their
how do they
lives.
get in touch with you?
So may I take the opportunity to offer opportunity to your community?
Most definitely.
Okay,
Most
definitely.
definitely.
So, Queens, I am about legacy building. And so, if you have a business, if you are looking at, okay, what are some of the things that I need to do to build up my visibility or whatnot, right? I am throwing a conference called Claim Your Throne Conference. And with that conference, I want my queens to come and I want my queens to be in a space where they can have community. Like I said, your network is your net worth, right? I want you to be in the room. I want you to
Mhm.
be able to collaborate and to connect. I want you to meet people. But not only that, I've been in this industry for a long time. And the one thing that is unfortunate for me is that women in business, right, they don't make what men in business make. The average
This is
woman
true.
that's in business only makes $142,000 a year. And if you are a Black woman, that goes down to $24,000 a year.
Mhm.
And me being in an industry where I have multiple zeros, y'all heard Lisa, I govern
Period.
billions of dollars. There's enough money out here. Let's be real clear. And so I am so troubled by that statistic. And when I tell y'all, I have literally built a community of queens where I want all my queens to win. So I am taking the
Yes.
opportunity to invite you to the Claim Your Throne conference, not only to learn, strategies and so forth about building wealth, about building your business credit, and all of that great stuff, but to get the support that I know that the queens need, because that's the
Yes.
difference between women and men. Men will say, like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing. They don't have a problem giving their ass. Like I said, women, we stay with our heads down. No more, no more. So if you
Mhm.
would like to find me, I suggest you check out claimthrone.com, www.claimthrone.com. The conference is in Connecticut. It's March 1st and March 2nd. And we have speakers who are going to talk about their success making it to seven figures. We have a speaker who's going to talk about what it took to build her business and how you actually can sell your business for millions of dollars. I'm going to be talking about business credit. I'm going to be talking about visibility, all of these things. Thank you, Queen. All of these
Mhm.
things. That's where you can find me. That's the focus right now. The focus is about reaching one, teaching one. And so it's an opportunity for queens to join us. Even if you don't have it figured out, get in a room. Get
Period.
in the room. Claim your throne, queen. Claim it. Claim it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Claimthrone.com. Y'all go to that site right now and get your tickets. So, Miss
Yeah.
Catherine, I'm sorry, Dr. Catherine. I keep saying
All
Miss. Dr. Catherine,
right.
it's been awesome, and we have gotten so much nuggets from you today. Is there
Thank you.
anything that you want to say that I might have forgotten to ask? Any questions that you wish that I would have asked, and you would like to? Okay, so everything's good. Everything's good.
Yeah, I just want to say one, thank you for having me. And two, queens, don't let anyone ever limit what you can do.
Period.
That's it.
Period.
Don't let
That's
anyone ever limit
it.
what you can do.
That's it. Well, Dr. Catherine, I know you're a busy woman, so we'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on to talk to me and my people, and you have a
Yes.
fabulous day and weekend, and I wish you all the luck on your conference.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Queen.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. All right. Bye bye, everybody.